Hi, I'm your Everyday Joe. Thanks for coming to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be making this bone-in ribeye in the Ninja Foodi with some mushrooms and sauteed onions. So stay tuned.
If you want to show support to this channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. And to stay up to date on new content, when we release it, ring the notification bell. Now let's get into the video.
Just got the Ninja Foodi warming up on the saute high, just so we can start sauteing some of these mushrooms and onions. I'm going to hit it with some garlic oil, just to coat the bottom. I don't want to steam them. I want to make sure that they get nicely browned. So if you see these mushrooms, these nice big mushrooms here, just going to get those in here, and you can hear the sizzle. You don't want to overcrowd your mushrooms, just so they won't steam. They'll brown instead of steam. But we do want it to shrink down a little bit. So hit them with a little bit of oil on the top. So just give it a little toss here. They're already starting to brown, as you can see. That's why it's always important to get the pot nice and hot in the Foodi. That just gets everything started, makes everything go that much faster. So we'll let this cook down a little bit. So I'm not going to add any salt and pepper right now. I'm going to wait till they shrink down and let off most of their moisture before I season it with the salt, because that'll draw out more of the water and it'll just end up steaming in there. So we're going to let these cook down. Okay, so the mushrooms are just about done here. You can see that they brown nicely. I don't want them to shrink too much. So actually we're going to take them out at this point here so we can get the onions in there. Okay, just going to put them in this bowl for now. Now I haven't seasoned them yet. I am going to season the onions, and then when we pull it all together is when I'll season the rest. So let's just get the rest of this out of here. Okay. Okay, give it a little oil in here. And I'm using about half an onion here. So I just want to make sure it's all broken up here. Nice small pieces. Okay. And I am going to season the onions. So this is just a black pepper, salt, and garlic powder mix. Just going to give it a little bit here. So we're going to use that on the steak also. Now you can cook these down until they get translucent or they get really soft. It's all a matter of how sweet you want them to get. And I'll let them go for a minute or two. Okay, I'm also going to put a little bit of butter in there, just kind of a little slab here, just not all that much, because I want to get some of the butter going into the sauces or into the saute of the onions and the mushrooms when I bring it together, so it'll have a nice little buttery flavor to it. And also some of this leftover flavoring that's at the bottom here, the dark pieces, are going to help flavor the steak too with that mushroom and onion butter flavor, because the steak will pick it up right off the bottom of the pot when we sear the steak. Okay, we're almost done here. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the mushrooms in there too, so it picks up some of that flavor too. So we'll get everything together and then we'll just remove it. And you can smell the butter, onions, everything's just coming right out here. Okay. All right, so we're just going to pull those out. Okay, and we're going to keep it on high on the sear. And we're going to start with the steak now. I'll just move the butter off to the side. Okay, I'm using the salt, black pepper, and garlic powder mix that I have here. Just going to season it well. You want to be pretty liberal with this because this is a pretty big piece of steak. Okay, I get it all patted down here. Okay, and we want to season both sides. Now keep in mind that this is a bone-in steak, so it's going to take a little bit longer to cook. And I'm leaving all the side fat here. I'm leaving all that on because that's going to give it flavor. We can always trim it off when it's done. Okay, so good here. So I'm going to give the base here another little spritz just to keep it going. All right, tap that off and get that all in there. All right, so this is going to take a while to cook. I like mine medium rare, so I'm going to aim for that. We're going to let it sear up on one side, sear up the other side too, and then we'll air fry the rest so it'll lock in all those juices and continue cooking. Okay, so as you can see, I lowered it down to medium high from high. There's a little tip: if it starts smoking up on you a little bit, it was starting to get a little smoke in here. I did lower it just one notch down to medium high just to help it slow down the cooking and not burn the oil as fast. So as you can see, the steak is well seared now. I mean, this thing is perfect. It's at about 120 degrees. Now, medium rare is about 130, 135. So I'm going to get it to that 135 level. So we're just going to put this on the rack here because I'm going to air fry the rest of it, the remaining way. So I'm just going to clean this up here so it doesn't burn. Okay, I'm going to add just a couple tablespoons of water to the base here, just to keep it from smoking up when we air fry. And I'm going to put the steak on the rack closest to the heat here, and we're going to close that up and go to air crisp. I'm going to go to 360. So we're going to cook this for about another 6 minutes on 360, just to bring it up to about 130, 135 degrees, 140 at the max. That's your medium setting. I like it medium to medium rare, so I'm aiming for that temperature. You can obviously cook it more or less, it's up to you. So I'll bring you back when that gets to that temperature. All right, so this just finished. It was 6 minutes in the air fryer. And take a look at it. It's nice and cooked. You still get those sear marks that were on it when I seared it. So we're just going to take a quick temperature here. I'm pretty sure we're there. So just going to go right into the thick part here. And we're looking at about 130, just over 130. So medium to medium rare is fine. That's just the way I like it. So now, before you cut into these steaks, you want to make sure that that you let them rest. You want to make sure that you let the steak, the meat, rest for a few minutes before you cut into it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to take a little piece of butter here. Again, just a little slab here, just to get it on top. Okay, and this is unsalted butter, so it's not going to add any more salt. I am going to season it a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to add some of these mushrooms and onions to the top. Okay, just a little bit on the top here. All right, get some more mushrooms there. Okay, and that should be fine. So get that off to the side. So here you have your ribeye steak, the bone-in ribeye steak. Some sauteed mushrooms and onions. And I put a little something healthy on the side here. This is just a spring mix with some tomatoes, a little salt and pepper, a little bit of oil. We just give it a little spritz of oil just like that. And that's it. So I'm just gonna take a piece of this. This thing looks and smells fantastic. So just gonna cut right into it here. Take a look. You can see the juices just flowing here. Take a piece right from this side here. And you can see. Look at it's cooked medium to medium rare. It's actually really nice, and it's very juicy. I mean, you can almost just tear it with a fork. So tender. So just take that. Wow, that's good. We're going to sample these mushrooms here too. Really good. You can taste the sear on it. And you know what? We're going to have some of this healthy stuff here too. So I'm sure it's pretty good. It's good. This steak came out perfectly in the Ninja Foodi. Again, sear it first on high. If you do notice it smoking up a little bit, just turn it down to medium high. And that'll help alleviate some of the smoking. Then we just cooked it in the air fryer on the top, the rack on the top side. Add a little bit of water to the base of it. It's going to keep it from smoking up. Any of that fat that burns off of it and drips down is going to alleviate that. So those are good little tips for you. Steak came out perfectly juicy. Now I've tested this in the Power Air Fryer and the Ninja Foodi, and they both seem to do a very good job on this. Again, it's a matter of taste and how you want to cook it and what piece of equipment you have. So hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, again, give me some comments, give me some thumbs up. Go ahead and share the video if you enjoyed it. I'm going to have some videos here on the side for you to check out as part of the playlist on this channel. Again, I enjoy having you watch these videos. We appreciate the time that you take to watch them. And I'll see you in the next video.